Hey everybody, DeLongshot Signatures here. This is the last in-person recap for the month of May for the Indy 500, and what a year it was. A ton of autographs this year. Got some more stuff to share here in a second. But Legends Day went pretty much the same how it did last year in a lot of ways. I made two small mistakes in the morning. One, should have gotten up probably about maybe 10 or 15 minutes sooner. Had to take care of some stuff before I left the house, which slowed me down a bit. And then I picked the wrong line to get into for the Legends Day autograph session. So I missed out on getting to go to both by about 12 people in line, which really sucks. But regardless, I still got to attend one of the sessions. I got to do the full field autograph session and get a few drivers there. Ran into some people in the garages, and overall did really, really well. I don't have the number pulled up for exactly how many autographs I got, but I think it was in the 50s or 60s. So we'll do everything in alphabetical order, and then at the end I'll show off the multi-signed items that I got. But like I said, I went to the full field autograph session, was able to go through two lines again this year. This was in the second line. Got two autographs of Alex Pillow. So I got one of the Chip Ganassi cards that they do now. And I also had him sign this Indy 500 Honors card. Pretty sure he won the poll for last year, if I remember correctly. And I could have had this signed by anyone that was in the field. I only brought two of them. I was like, I'm going to meet Alex anyway. Might as well have him sign that one. We're going to jump around a lot. I'll have some stories for some of these names later. This is one of the customs that I got signed by Anna Beatriz. She was supposed to be in the Session A autograph session and ended up missing that, so she joined the Session B, so that helped me with getting her. Then this was my main target for the full field autograph session. I had two cards left for him. He ended up signing both of those, an oversized card, and I got a hero card from him. But I wanted to get him now because I don't know if he's going to be running IndyCar anymore in the future. If he gets a full-time ride, if he just does some 500s or whatever. But I wanted to make sure I got these cards for this year's base set. Got Callum Ilott. So he signed both of these. Got an oversized card. And then also grabbed one of his hero cards from this year. So very, very happy to get all of those completed. Then I got some upgrades from this guy. He signed all three of them pretty quickly. Got Colton Herta. Not only signed in blue, but a little bit better signature, although he's still kind of one of those who rushes his autograph. Also got another hero card from this year signed by him. Then this guy was part of the Group B session and got him on his way back out. I just purchased an autograph of his, so now I've got several of this guy. Dick Simon, who is 90 years old and looks really good for a 90-year-old. Some of the drivers that were in the autograph session brought their own items. I asked each one if I could have a second one for my buddy Matt, who was there that day. He didn't get a wristband for either session, so I was able to help him get a couple extra autographs that they otherwise wouldn't have gotten, and all of them were more than happy to do so. One of them was Donnie Beechler. Then another one in the full field session I got was Ed Carpenter. His line also had two other drivers that maybe aren't like the most popular right now. They race for a big team, but they're one, they don't do, it's Chip Ganassi drivers, so they don't do regular hero cards, and one of them doesn't have that great of an autograph. So after I got through the first line, which had Herta, Ilott, and another driver, I went to the Ed Carpenter line because it was the shortest one, so I was pretty much guaranteed to get another autograph or another couple of autographs that way. This one was a huge surprise. So if you watched my previous video, you'll know that I purchased this guy's autograph at the Indie Memorabilia Show. I really, really needed it in the collection. His grandson is racing in the 500 this year, but there was no indication that he would be showing up to the track at all. And if he did, whether he would even be out with the fans or if he would just be hanging out in the garages or something like that. He did end up being there for Carb Day for the blue jacket reveal for previous Indy 500 winners, everything like that. And this guy was a surprise guest. He was not on the list. I don't even think he was ever even announced to be there for the Group B autograph session. So I not only got this, but I got a couple other items signed by him. Emerson Fittipaldi. So I didn't need to spend that $60. No. I don't regret that purchase in the slightest. But I actually got to meet him this time around. So I think with him and a couple others that you'll see later, I have now met 3 more Indy 500 winners, which is really cool. It's one thing to have their autograph, that's, important to me, but it's also awesome to be able to meet them. So I got this when he was on his way out, because he also not only signed at the autograph session, but after it was done, he stopped and signed for a bunch of fans, which was very, very surprising. So super glad to have him. Also, after the Group B session, got Felipe Giafoni. This guy was handing out his own stuff. Greg Leffler. And then there was one guy that was in the Group A session who walked out. Didn't ask him because I didn't have a ton of extra custom 4x6s left at this point. But his son races in the Indy Next series, and he brought his own hero card and was standing there, so I asked him if I could have one, and he was more than happy to sign. Got another Jack William Miller for the collection. This was a surprising thing to find. Me and Matt were walking around the garages, and there was a little crowd standing there, and we looked and saw one guy. I'm like, that guy looks so familiar. I know who that is, but why can I not think of the name? And it took me a minute, but I saw a shirt that someone else was wearing who was obviously associated with him, and figured out it was Joe Nemechek who was standing there. So he signed a photo for me, took a photo with Matt. And then speaking of Matt, he really helped me out with this one. So when I got in line for Calamai, I was trying to think ahead of like, okay, is there anyone else in particular that I am willing to wait a while in line for to try and get an autograph of? And I started thinking about it. I'm like, I pretty much got everyone on the cards that I need. There's like a couple cards that I didn't get that I would like to get signed, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through those lines. Is there anyone with a hero card that I really want? And I thought about it. I'm like, who of the just Indy 500 drivers' hero cards did I not get? And I thought about Catherine Lake. And I was like, I wonder if she even has one, because I didn't see any at the Dale Coyne garages when I walked by. I did see some Nolan Siegel ones, and I don't know where people got those. But I was like, man, I don't even know if Catherine Lake has one. So after the autograph session started, a whole bunch of people were leaving their lines and jumping into a different one. And I noticed that she did have a hero card. I was like, man, I got to get in line for that. So after meeting the drivers that I had, went to go to the back of her line. Holy crap, that thing, it stretched all the way back into the midway. And I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get there in time. This sucks, but I'll just have to, maybe buy one next year or something like that. Then later on, meet back up with Matt, who was hanging out in the garages, and he snagged me a hero card. And then not even a few minutes later, here comes Catherine Legg, and she had to get her cart driver to stop driving away, because she was willing to sign, but the driver kept going. But she did sign that one, so very, very happy. Thank you, Matt. Not just for this one, but you guys will see another one that he really, really helped me out with this year. The driver with the greatest autograph in the history of IndyCar, got one from him on his Chip Ganassi card. Kiffin Simpson. We'll just leave it there. Then I've never been able to meet this guy before. Although he's been at the track a lot. I guess he's kind of tough. If you annoy him, he might not sign for you. But he was in a very good mood yesterday, which was awesome. So this was actually the second autograph I got, but I was able to finally meet him. Kenny Brack. So that little part in the middle is supposed to be a smiley face, and I've seen in the past, or with some other signatures where it is one, but he was very quickly signing everything. And then I purchased this guy's autograph yesterday because I had never been able to get him. I also kind of didn't really know what he looked like, but Matt pointed him out to me, and we both were able to meet him and get an autograph. Larry Foyt. Then after the Group B session, where I'd already gotten her on a photo, got another custom 4x6 signed by Lynn St. James, who said she liked these little customs that I made. Then the other driver in the Ed Carpenter line, which is, I guess he would probably be like the second most popular. Well, there's only 3 drivers, so that was a stupid comment. But not a super popular name in the field right now, but could be at some point. Got his trading card from Chip Ganassi Racing, Marcus Armstrong. So now I've got 2 of these. This was a very surprising name on the list, given his story, but he was in the Session A group, so wasn't able to meet him then. And Matt was hanging out by where the autograph session was. I was like, hey man, I gotta go use the restroom, and then I gotta get in line for the Session B. If this guy comes out and signs, can you get me one? And he did. Got Mr. Michael Chandler. Now the reason why this is significant, Michael Chandler drove in 3 Indy 500 races, and I don't remember if he crashed out for the 4th or didn't qualify, but he was involved in a very serious wreck that ended up putting him in a coma for almost like 2 weeks, and he suffered some brain injuries after that. I guess some of his memory is affected, but this was one of the first time he has shown up in a long time, if he's ever shown up before. This is only the 2nd year I've done Legends Day, so I don't know the full history of it, but he was out and about, and he was signing, and got to meet him later and thank him for signing the photo, because apparently he told Matt that he really liked the customs and how they looked. So super nice guy, very, very happy to add him to the collection. And then another one that was in the line that I was in, who was giving out hero cards, was Pippa Mon. So she had these for part of the movement of helping fund female drivers in their respective motorsports. So that was cool. Then we got a Sebastian Saavedra autograph on his way out. This one was a huge stroke of luck and just absolute just awesome that I was able to get this. So Matt and I were walking around in the garages, and I look over and I see this guy, and he looks super familiar, and I'm like, there's no way that's Stephen Wilson, right? The guy who who actually qualified into last year's Indy 500 race, then got injured in a practice after that and was replaced by Graham Rahal. Because of that, he did receive a qualification photo, which was used in the Parkside set, but because he never actually raced in the IndyCar season, he only ended up with 1 trading card in the Parkside set. I forgot about that, and I did not bring the card. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I completely forgot about him and didn't bring the card, and now he's here. And that's going to be the toughest card to get signed in the set, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't live in the United States. And so I was like, well, I can at least get an autograph. I had purchased an 8x10, so I had him sign that. He was super cool about it, and I was like the only person who seemed to recognize him at that point. And I was like, man, that really sucks. Really wish I would have had that card. But then Matt remembered that when he was on the phone talking to me, making his way into the track, that he stopped at one of the stores and bought a pack of Parkside cards. He said, let me see what I got. And thanks to Matt, because I helped him pick out the box of cards over the phone, but thanks to Matt, he gave me his Parkside card, and I was able to get this signed for the set. So thank you so much, Matthew. I owe you something for this. Just absolutely insane luck. You know, you had me pick out the pack of cards for you over the phone, so that would be lucky for you. Turned out it was actually more lucky for me, but I really, really appreciate it, man, for you to give me that to help out with my set. Thank you so much. Then we got a custom 4x6 of Tom Bagley, who was also giving out his own trading card. So I got 2 of these, and the other one went to Matt. Tony Kanon was in our session but had to leave early, so he just went ahead and signed a whole stack of them, of his hero cards from this year, so I was able to get one of those. And now we have the multi-signed items. So they give out one for the Legends Day signing, but I also bought another one because we were going to wait outside the session A before and after to try and get drivers, but we were wrong about what time it started, so we didn't. I only got one autograph, I think one autograph before it started, but I was able to get a few after, and then I just added whoever else I saw that was walking around that I could get. So this was the photo that I purchased at the IMS Photo Lab. It was $13. I'm not a fan of that, but I was able to get it autographed by several former drivers, so I can be happy with that. So from here we have Jimmy Kite. This is Stephen Wilson's autograph. Dick Simon. This is Max Pappas. We have Lynn St. James, who signed a little bit over Max's. Roger Yazakawa. Taro Palmrith. Buddy Rice, who I have now met him, who is a former 500 winner. Poncho Carter, who I actually have a small connection to his family. We talked about that a little bit. He wasn't, it's kind of a sad story. I won't go over it too much, but it was a family member of his who had passed away several years ago, so it was kind of tough for him to hear about it. It seemed like, so I didn't talk too much about him with it, but I just let him know that we had that connection. Tom Bigelow. I'm pretty sure this is Gabby Chavez, because I did have him sign both items, and it looks nothing like his signature used to. Kenny Brack, this was from the first time I got to meet him. It was out in the garages. Now that I know what he looks like, I'm going to be able to spot him everywhere. Derek Daly, Jeff Brabham, Emerson Fittipaldi signed both of these for me and then signed the 4x6 afterwards. Stefan Johansson, who I thought I had gotten TTM and I hadn't, so I'm really glad I went out of my way to go and get him. And then Tice Carlson for that photo. Trying not to go over the camera. And then this is the photo that they were giving out, very similar to last year's. It might even be the same one, I'm not sure. But either way, still cool. So we got Tom Bagley, Felipe Giafoni. This is Donnie Beechler, which is kind of funny because I purchased his autograph at the memorabilia show, but he was also signing at the memorabilia show. Didn't get to meet him then, but got to meet him yesterday. Greg Leffler, Jeff Brabham, Tom Bigelow, and then Johnny Parsons signed over Tice Carlson, because none of them were switching markers, because I was at like the very end of the line. Emerson Fittipaldi. Pretty sure this is Gabby Chavez as well. Again, doesn't look anything like his autograph as it has in the past. Then we got Poncho Carter. Eddie, no, not Eddie. Spike Gelhausen. Sebastian Saavedra. Buddy Lazier, who I have now met. So I think I met 4 Indy 500 winners this year that I've never met before. I do have some of their autographs, but I hadn't met them before. Very hard to see, but Anna Beatrice, Derek Daly, and then pip them on right here at the bottom. So very much worth it going this year. Hopefully next year I'll be able to remember what time to get up and what line I should go for to try and get a wristband for both sessions, because they do allow that. And then hopefully I'll print out some more custom 4x6s next year so I have more options to get stuff signed. But very, very worth it. I wish I had the number pulled up for how many autographs I got between in-person purchases, pulls from the Parkside cards, and even some of the TTMs that I've gotten recently for the month of May for IndyCar. But very, very happy with what this year was. I do believe it was over 500 signatures from what I saw last night. I just don't have an exact count. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.